Nanga hats. "Where do Nangas get those hats?" asks Connie. She's inclined to call lank randoms of a certain ilk Nangas, which is not a nice thing to say, but this is not a nice story. We were waiting at the lights on Derby Street. A man in his hat crossed with the walk sign in front of the car. Somewhere, Nangas buy oversized, floppy cowboy hats made of cheap straw, tatty and loose-ended, often in garish colours. Even the straw isn't real. They must be worth about $5. It is an essential part of the dress code. You see them loitering in the mall and other public places. Nangas in Nanga hats. "I'm thinking of buying one," I say. "I could do with a Nanga hat." "You could sit out the front of the supermarket and smoke meth," she suggests. "And call all the shoppers walking past cunts," I say. Nangas have predictable habits and haunts, but for reasons unexplained they gravitate towards Nanga hats. These are often held on with a drawstring under the chin, as in the present case, which renders them even more infantile, whole phases of childhood incomplete. But where do you buy them? There must be special stores. Whatever happened to moccasins, I wonder? Years back, moccasins were the thing. They went with the Nanga hat. The Nanga in his hat and mockies, dragging his feet along, flattening his arches, was an urban understatement, social decay in person. They are people overlooked in the fine print, Nangas. They are not disabled enough to be disabled, but not able enough to be able. They're not criminal enough to be criminals, and they can't stand still long enough to be in the army. But if you're going to try to help one of them, you'd start with a hat. Lose the Nanga hat. Connie was a bit tickled. "I can see you in a Nanga hat," she laughs. "I wouldn't be surprised. I go to the supermarket one day and there you are, sitting at the front door, begging coins in your Nanga hat. And calling all the shoppers walking past cunts," I say again. "You'd be good at it," she says. Immediately after that, we drive to the supermarket to browse in the dinner aisle. That is where we were heading. And sure enough, loitering around the entrance is a flock of Nangas doing what Nangas do, annoying people. They bother the bourgeoisie as they come and go, but more in character, they treat each other like shit. If the police ever have to be called to move them on, it is because two women have started clawing each other's eyes out, and there is yelling and throwing projectiles and loud altercations about who is rooting who, or else the men will be scrapping over piddling amounts of money. You can sidestep them, navigate your shopping trolley around them, and ignore them. If it wasn't for the Nanga hats, they'd almost be invisible. Maybe that's why they wear Nanga hats. The whole world treats them like they're invisible. A Nanga hat says, "Here I am, cunt." But where do you buy them? As we walk up, one of the Nangas on this occasion is just then lighting up his meth pipe, but as he flicks the flame and leans forward, the flame catches on a strand of straw dangling down, and with a quick whoosh, the whole hat goes up on his head. He leaps to his feet. His friend yells, "Hey!" because the pipe tips on the ground, which is a waste. The Nang tears off his headgear, throws it down, stomps on it, and is yelling incoherent Australianisms as his friends rush over to douse it in dregs of their tins of cola. Just to prove that the straw isn't real, the hat melts into a fused puddle of highly inflammable synthetics. "Now's your chance," Connie says to me as we enter the store. "You'll have to buy another one. Follow him. Find out who sells those things."